Right now, the new builds in Tucson, Arizona are offering the biggest incentives that I have ever seen, which is why today's episode, I am interviewing a representative from D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is one of the new builds in Pima County, one of many that you will start seeing on my channel, because I've been getting this request to know some more information, get the inside scoop of what the new builds are like. My audience wants to compare. What does D.R. Horton offer compared to Meritage, compared to Mattamy, compared to XYZ? So I'm doing these series for you as often as possible whenever there is a significant update, and boy, do we have one today. Today, I'm interviewing Justin Kern from D.R. Horton. That tells you something that I'm going to wait for him to tell you. So stick around, and if you want to start the home buying process, I do this all day, every day, and the way to get started with the home buying process with working with me is to schedule a call. That's the first step. The link is going to be in the description below. It's going to take you to Calendly, which gives you full access to my calendar to block a date and time that works best for you and any other buying party. The other buying party has to be on the call. Please, please. I think you're going to enjoy today's episode. I hope I provided value. If this was valuable, give this video a little like because it is completely free for you to do so. But even better, let's meet one-on-one on my Zoom call. And if you decide D.R. Horton is for you, I'll start the group chat with us and Justin. These are the incentives for October 2025. Let's begin.
Hello. Well, hi, Ali. Thanks for having me on. I'm Justin Kern. I'm with D.R. Horton Homes. And I've been with the company for about 3 years at this point. I love working with this company. We do a lot of incentives and we do a lot of spec building. So we have homes in all different phases of construction all around Tucson, Vail, Marana, Sahuarita. I think we have about 12 sites all over town. So I'm glad to be with the company. I think we're the number one builder in the country, have been since 2002, I believe. So I don't think that's a mistake. And I can totally tell why the builder is as big as it is. So thanks again for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, I'm excited to make this like a monthly thing, especially since, as you know, new builds, the incentives change all the time. They sometimes close out neighborhoods, they pop open new neighborhoods. And so I want to show the audience what's the latest and greatest, and that's, I can't do that with like covering this once a quarter. So I was like, why not like introduce like reps from the builders directly? So that way the audience could hear it. And then when they go to purchase a DR home, they reach out to either one of us, we work together, and that way they know, they're more familiar too, instead of what I see now sometimes is like clients are a little bit weary when I connect them to a builder rep. Sure. So now they see your face, they know your personality, they know that they're going to be working with Justin when they buy a D.R. Horton home in Tucson. So it's just like more familiarity. So I want to start the first question with what area or neighborhood for your builder excites you the most and why?
Yeah, well, I'm currently at, it's called Sahuarita Crossings. It's on Benson Highway in Alvernon area. That's my home site. That's where I am right now. But I'd say, we have so much going on all over town, truthfully, but our biggest community, and has been our biggest community for like a year and a half or 11 years or something like that, we've been building. It's called Saguaro Bloom. It's over in Marana off of Twin Peaks and Silver Bell Road. And there's about 20 or so floor plans in this community. So it excites me because there's a home for everybody, really. First-time home buyers, someone that wants to move up, maybe they're having children and they need something a little bit bigger, or even people they're looking for their dream home. They're looking for their home to settle down for, for the rest of their days. And we get that a lot. And we have homes that are, all the way from $345,000 in that community, all the way up to $560,000. So it really ranges in that community. That was actually my home community before I came here, and I just felt like I had something for everybody. And the great thing about D.R. Horton is that me personally, I'm all over, so I could really sell in any of the communities. Of course, I have to be at my home community, holding down the fort throughout the day, but in the afternoon or in the mornings or on my days off, I'm going all over around town, selling at the different sites. So my net is cast wide. I could really go at any of our sites. And that's, like I said, that's Marana. We build a lot in the Northwest, Gladden Farms, Vail, we build a lot as well. We have a new site opening up. It's in Rancho, Sahuarita that I'm really excited about. That should be opening up in the next couple months or so. So I'll be out there for sure. Kind of hoping that it's going to be my home site. I'd like to open it up myself, but if not, I'll be there selling as much as I can for sure.
Nice. Yeah, that's when you said on your days off, you're working. I'm like, yep, that sounds like a real estate agent.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that is what we do. Do you have more details on the Rancho Sahuarita one that we can give exclusive details to the audience?
Well, I wish I did. I don't quite yet. Usually, as we get closer to the model, I think the model should be starting sometime next month, hopefully in the next few weeks or so. But they don't tell me much until we have our startup meeting, and that's typically going to be a couple weeks or so before we open up the site. And usually it's just going to be the sales agent that they have working there, or the sales agent they're going to have as their home site. And like I said, I hope I'm one of them. So once I do know, I can definitely give you the inside scoop on that one. I'm just excited because, first of all, I don't live too far from Sahuarita. I'm semi-familiar with the area. I used to go over there and fish a lot. I don't know if you've ever been to the lake down there.
Oh, yeah.
But I would go there and fish all the time. So I'm like, that'd be cool to be close to there after I get off and go fishing. You know what I mean? Have a good time with my son. Things of that nature. So I'm sorry I don't have the whole scoop, but I know we'll be building there soon. And we'll be having great incentives, and I'm excited for that one more than you can imagine, truthfully.
Yeah. I mean, Rancho Sahuarita is such a popular place, but so is Vail. My clients tend to be military. Sure. So they tend to end up going to a couple of specific areas. And of course, I can't steer, so I'm done talking about that. You mentioned incentives. Can we talk about some incentives? What are the rates or any other incentives that you're seeing today? Yeah,
so I'm glad you asked, because right now, truthfully, we're doing the biggest incentive that I've seen since I've worked with the company. I mean, as rates go down, we're able to do more exciting things, buy down the rate even lower. So right now, we're actually doing a 2-1 buy down off of a 3.99 fixed rate FHA loan. So first year is going to be 1.99 for you, 2.99 the second year, 3.99 the third year through 30. So amazing incentives. I'm not sure if any other builder is doing something similar, but we just introduced that about a week ago or so. And of course, it's going through the weekend, so I don't know if it's going to stick around. I hope it does. But you know how it goes from time to time. They're gonna switch up the incentives. But this one is particularly powerful. On top of that, we do offer $4,000 in closing costs through our lender, DHI Mortgage, at the majority of our communities. Okay, and then we also give $6,000 in what we call flex cash that the buyer can use towards buying appliances for the house, washer, dryer, fridge, blinds, adding even more to the closing cost bin so that they don't have to worry about any of those closing cost fees. With our lender, the closing costs are going to be around, in general, around $6,500 or so. So they can use that flex cash to cover the majority of it, or all of it, in some cases. So they would just have to worry about their down payment. But really, that 1.99 the first year is just amazing. Honestly, I'm telling everybody, truthfully. Yeah, I'm telling everyone too. So for the audience, you don't know this, but we actually tried to record this yesterday and we had technical difficulties on both of our ends. But so we started the first half of this podcast, and when you told me 1.99, I was like, this is unbelievable. So I posted it on my Instagram, and I got like a bunch of people from all over the country though, being like, where? I was like, sure. Buy in Tucson. Sure. I was like, I don't know if they have this in Philly where you're at, but sure. So I have a question about the flex cash. Can that be you, or does DR Horton not normally provide the appliances of what you're mentioning? Well, I'd say for the most part, it changes from time to time. We'll do something like a flex cash where they're like, hey, they can pull it from this. Sometimes they'll throw it in, if we have a completed spec home, sometimes they'll just throw in the appliances in there. Just to make it look more full for when we're showing people, and just to say, hey, it's already in this lot. And sometimes we'll just offer it as an incentive straight up as a move-in package where it's, everything's included. You don't have to worry about taking it from flex cash or anything like that. That's just what we're doing at the moment. And I will say that, most of the time people are going to come in and they're not going to want to worry about something like that. So if they were to ask the builder and say, hey, we're going to need all these things. We don't have a washer. We don't have a dryer. We don't have blinds to put in the house. We don't want the sun peeking through while we're trying to move in and get everything situated. Can you provide this so that we don't have to worry about it as we move in? sure it's something that the builder would consider to get a deal moved forward. But for the most part, it's going to be something that can be taken from our incentives that we're running at the moment, for sure.
I'm doing the math on the back end right now for the mortgage calculator. So assuming a $400,000 house, assuming zero down payment for a VA loan, which is typically my clientele, the 1.99% interest rate, assuming a 30-year VA loan, insurance, $1,200 a year, taxes, $1,200 a year, the monthly payment would be less than $1,700 a month. Is that what you're tracking too?
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm seeing around around there, $1,700, $1,750. And my community, our prices are around $360, $370 or so. So yeah, I've been saying around that number as well, which is amazing. I mean, you can't really beat that. There's people that are living in apartments that are much smaller than these homes that are paying much more than that.
Yeah.
So it's powerful. Wow. I'm excited about it, truthfully.
That is so cool. And for those listening, right now we're recording this and it's September 24th, 2025. So the rates change all the time. Don't get mad at us when the incentives change because they will. I promise you they will. So with that, is there anything that related to incentives? Lender. Do the buyers have to use DHI? Is that what it is? The
DHI
mortgage in order to get the flex cash and the interest rate, all that?
Flex cash, no. The interest rate, the buy down, all of that, yes. Now I will say, for the most part, I'd say 95% of our customers are going to come in and use our lender just because their outside lender typically has no chance of beating, our rates. They're more than welcome to use the lender. It doesn't really make much of a difference. To me personally, I mean, if they're more comfortable with their own lender, I've had instances where, maybe there's a language barrier. They come in, they maybe don't speak maybe they speak Vietnamese or something to that effect. And maybe they have a cousin that's, can help them out, translate. And, I have had that from time to time. Or if for some reason, they can't be qualified with DHI mortgage and they can use an outside lender and get the qualification there. I've seen that happen maybe once or twice. But 95% of people are going to jump on with DHI mortgage because it's truly unbeatable in most cases, for sure. It doesn't mean that the customer can't ask and say, hey, would you be willing to chip in closing costs or use that flex cash towards buying down the rate with an outside lender? But even then, still, it's typically not going to be able to match, what DHI mortgage is going to be able to do.
For sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
And also, I wanted to mention, to piggyback on the incentives, a lot of people, especially nowadays, are interested in down payment assistance. And right now, we actually do have a program related to down payment assistance. It's FHA will give you 3.5% through DHI mortgage, and the rate is actually 5.75, so it's even below the market rate. So we do that as well, and that's a 3-year forgivable down payment assistance. So if they stay in that house for 3 years after they get the keys, then that's free money. That'd be forgiven.
Okay, cool. Also, does that assume no refinancing within the 3 years? The first 3?
I believe that they. Oh, that's a great question. I'd have to double back with my mortgage lender and get back to you on that one. But I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to know. That's super cool. I hadn't heard of
me too.
I hadn't heard of that program. That's cool.
It's fairly new. I think they introduced it maybe 6 to 8 months ago. It's fairly new, but I've sold a few of them already. It's pretty popular, and usually when I bring it up to realtors, their ears perk up and they're wanting to let the people know. The people that don't have the down payment necessarily saved up, or maybe they don't want to, spend the down payment once they realize, hey, this is below market rate, and we can refinance later down the road. That's free money. So
yeah. So the only string attached is you just have to keep the loan for 3 years, right? Or live there for 3 years.
Even if they were to, it gets tacked on to the loan at first, and then every year I believe a third of it goes away. And then once they get to that 3rd year, it's all going to be forgiven at that point.
Nice. That's cool. We're living in the most unaffordable time right now in the US. So
sure.
Any help helps.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's talk about, you mentioned the timeline. If someone wanted to, let's go through the whole timeline, going from someone wants to see it from the ground up. What's the earliest they could go under contract for?
Dirt, really, at a dirt lot. I mean, at this point, for a while, we were just doing straight spec homes that had to be started construction and then, buy after the fact. But lately they've become more lenient on allowing for people to say, hey, I like this lot over here. I know that you're not necessarily starting construction over there, but can we purchase that lot? Can we put a certain floor plan on that lot? In some instances, the builder would be okay with that if they haven't submitted permits for that particular lot with a particular floor plan. Sometimes they are going to say, hey, we've already submitted permits. We were already going to start on that site. So you can't change the floor plan necessarily, but maybe the inner packages, you can change certain things, have a little bit more say so, because if a home is, let's say, at frame stage or something like that, we've already ordered all of the material, you wouldn't be able to really change anything in that case. As far as the timeline goes, you're probably looking anywhere between 100 and 120 days from when we go under contract to when we can close on that home. So
when it's
we really
dirt?
locked in our build time. Yes.
Dang, that's crazy. Remember back like in 2021 where it was taking over a year, not for your builder directly, but like all new builds. They were taking a year. It was crazy.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard the stories. That was right before my time with the builders. So I didn't see it firsthand. But it's crazy to me looking back. I mean, they've really locked in their build times, getting the material in. We haven't really had any trouble. We've been consistently around 120 days or even less since I've been with the company. And I think during those times, 2020, 2021, I think that really pushed the builder into the spec builder mode, which I think it has a lot of advantages because, well, first of all, the base prices in the house they're consistent, they're true. There's no really, design center upgrades that are gonna change that. I know buyers can sometimes, it has its pros and cons, but sometimes buyers can get, they start adding $30,000, $40,000 in upgrades. And that could, really change their payment, change if they can qualify. But when you look at our base prices, they're going to be true. And the only thing that's going to change between purchase price and the base price that you see when you come into our sales model and look at the base price sheet, just going to be lot premium. So depending on what lot you pick out, those can range from $5,000 to $50,000, depending on what lot that you go with. But it makes things straightforward. You know what you're going to get when you walk into our sales models. That's what we have in the houses. So there's not really any confusion. You're seeing what you're going to get. And the builder has already picked out the most popular upgrades that, they've been seeing. So a lot of the time people come in and they're like, is this standard? And I'm like, yeah, this is standard. Like, this is it. And, they're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about paying extra. I don't have to worry about, starting with laminate. And now I got to, pay whatever it is, $5,000, $10,000 for quartz countertops. Typically we're already going to have the quartz countertops in here for you. So makes it a little bit easier,
Definitely. Yeah. The more like straightforward something can be, it makes the home buyers feel more at ease, and it just makes the transaction a lot more smooth. There was someone that I was talking to in a different state that said that they did it differently. They did like an entire custom build new home. Mm-hmm. And when they purchased it, that company took close to 2 years to finish building it. Wow. And 2 years later, the interest rate went from in the 2s to the 5s. And they more than doubled their mortgage, the monthly mortgage, screwed them over. They couldn't get out. And this is completely different state, different rules, different builder, different times. So, but to clarify with the audience here, when they lock in with you guys, say they want dirt, they're like, we want to try to get in early. So we'll look 4 months out, maybe 5 months out, place an offer. So that way they can try to pick their own finishes, or package or whatnot.
Sure.
Will the interest rate change at all? Or is it locked with the land?
No. So that's another thing. Typically what we're going to do is we're going to offer them a certain amount of closing costs. And this, we don't typically have an incentive set for dirt builds. If I'm being honest with you, from time to time, they'll say, okay, we're going to give $15,000 to this person in closing cost money to buy down their interest rate. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is because the builder incentivizes heavily the homes that can close in the coming months. So for example, the incentive that I was telling you, that 2-1 buy down, is going to be for October closings, homes that are pretty much finished at this point. So typically when people come in, it's, to be honest, it's fairly rare for someone to come in and buy the dirt lots. I mean, it does happen from time to time, and they can try to negotiate to get as much closing costs as they can to buy down their rate, but it's usually not going to be anything in comparison to what we're running at the moment for more, soon closings. The builder typically is going to discount homes that are finished. Okay, so if you see a spec home that's finished or close to completion, they're typically going to have already discounted the price on that home. And they're going to offer amazing incentives, cover your closing costs, give you all the washer, dryer, fridge, blinds. But when it comes to a dirt build, it really comes down to how much closing costs are we going to be able to negotiate to get that interest rate down. Because, I mean, we know it can be a big difference. I mean, the market rate to our rate is a huge difference. Mm-hmm. So it can mean the difference between, can I buy this house or can I not? So we'll work with you, and we'll definitely work out the closing cost situation to try to get the rate as low as you can. But the builder is typically not going to be as aggressive if it's a dirt lot, for sure. But
okay, that was exactly good. Yeah, for sure. That's where what my next question was going to be is, do you think the best deal or the best savings is in the dirt lot, or those that are ready to go, already finished being built?
Definitely, the ready to go homes is definitely going to get you the best deal. I mean, our sales management, they need to get the houses closed. I mean, the more they sit on it, a finished home, they're paying the utilities. They're getting looked at from the corporate, upper management. So they're definitely more aggressive when it comes to those soon to be ready or completed spec homes. So if you're looking for a great deal and you're willing to move soon, then, that's definitely going to be the biggest bang for your buck. I will say another thing I want to mention, because this sort of situation comes up, because of course we're trying to get people to close we're trying to get people the best deal, that makes sense for them when they come in. And a lot of the times they'll be locked up in some sort of lease agreement. Okay, so that happens kind of often. And the way that we typically approach that is, we'll talk to a real estate agent like yourself, and we'll say, hey, is there any way that we can work out with you? Maybe we add to your commission a percent to try to see. We ask them, what's your lease buyout? How much does that cost? They come back, they say it's, 2 months rent. So maybe it's $3,500 to $4,000, something like that. We'll try to work with the real estate agent, see if they're willing to do it. Maybe we tack on another percent to their co-broke to try to work out something outside of closing to get them to buy them out of their lease. So we do that kind of often. It's just another way to make people feel comfortable, so they don't have to worry about, I have to, there's this great deal for this quick move in, but I have to spend $4,000 on getting myself out of my lease. So I run into that a lot, but the builder is more than willing to say, hey, can we work with the realtor? Can we throw in more, commission to try to work this out so that they don't have to worry about buying themselves out of their lease when they're already trying to worry about their down payment?
Yeah. And I've seen that happen too, where builders do what they can to help to avoid the buyers having the double payment of the lease and the mortgage. So you mentioned realtors, which is my next question. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, do I need my own realtor or a separate realtor if I'm going to be buying a new build? What is your relationship with realtors like, and what is your response?
Yeah, I mean, we love working with realtors. I mean, we're constantly doing presentations. We're constantly doing drop-offs of goodie bags at realtors' offices. So we definitely encourage realtors to come check out new construction. As we have very good deals, and it seems like more and more lately realtors are, they're looking to us, to try to get the lowest payments for their customers, their clients. And I'd say it just makes the process much more smooth when the realtors come in, because a lot of times people come in, it's just natural to feel like, okay, it's us versus the builder. We have to try to figure this out on our own. We don't necessarily know what a good deal is. So I'd say the majority of people do come in with a realtor. It's almost rare that they don't. And I think it protects them when it comes to inspections, because, someone comes in, they're not necessarily thinking about inspections. They're thinking, it's a brand new home. But, and that is true. But of course, we have human trades that are working on the home. So it's great to have an inspector come in, double check, do their inspection, send in the inspection report, and we can work with the superintendent to get all those items addressed. So I love working with realtors. Like I said, I'd say 90% of our business comes from realtors. So, you know what I mean? We love our realtor community here in Tucson and otherwise as well.
Yeah, it's been so friendly, like, in such a nice interaction working. You know what? I think I'm going to say it. I have better relationships with agents that are in new builds than not. It's just like, it's more of, I don't know how to describe it. It's not I think it's because you guys represent a company instead of you representing an emotional seller that says no, or like just starts like it feels more like butting heads when it should just be more like cohesion. Like, both of us are working to get our client the best deal. That doesn't mean that we have to be butthurt or angry. It's so different. It's not like that at all with new builds. So, so good for you. New builds. Nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we're both trying to get the deal done. We're trying to work it out. I mean, of course I work for the builder. I definitely want the best interest of the builder, but I mean, I'm not afraid to go to my management and ask them, say, hey, this is what's going to get the deal done. And they'll come back and they'll counter, or they'll say yes, or they'll say no, or whatever it is. And I can come back and give you the truth of what they said and go from there. And it's usually a very friendly thing. There's no really emotions, especially from my end. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you, what I've seen in the past, and go from there. So it's always a friendly, fun thing for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's less of the negative emotions, like, because there are some agents out there, I'm sure that you've worked with them, that are just like, okay, you're not like, nobody's on fire right now, it's okay. They're a lot more calm, cool, and collected, the new build agents.
Sure. Absolutely.
I want to go through the inspection process. So, like, for an example, someone wants to get the best deal, so they look at houses that are on like the quick move-in sheet, or like they're ready to go. Closing in like a month, 3 weeks, or?
Yeah, I mean, we could do as soon as we even have what we call a 10-day closing document, where if someone, like, let's say we're trying to close someone for example, we just finished up our fiscal year recently, right? So DHI Mortgage was telling us, hey, we can close people as late as the 20th. We can close them at the end of the month, as long as, of course, it's a clean file. They fill out their 10-day form, and it basically just states that you're going to perform as quickly as you possibly can. And if you do, we can get the appraisal ordered, and we can get that all set up within those 10 days and get you closed. Now, admittedly, those situations are few and far between, but typically if it's a home that's finished, we're going to get that house closed within 30 days for sure. And as far as the inspection goes, so we have a walkthrough orientation. This is common with all the builders, I would imagine. So it's a week before closing, you have an orientation scheduled with the superintendent who built the home, who scheduled all the trades out to come and build the home. And you'll walk through the house with him. And for the most part, it's going to be touch-up stuff. It's going to be, paint, drywall touch-ups, stucco touch-ups. But it really could be anything. You blue tape it, you go through, you blue tape in. This appointment's going to be anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, something like that. And we usually recommend that the inspection happen maybe a day or two before that, if possible. So it just gives the superintendent enough time to address all those items before closing date. And what he will do, we also have a sign off on the closing date with the superintendent. So the buyer will come out, they will go over everything that they talked about in the walkthrough orientation, make sure all of that was done to their satisfaction. And then also he will present the actual inspection report. He'll print it out and he'll go through it with you, and just mark everything off. Said, hey, I had the trade scheduled to come out on, let's say 2 days ago, they did this, they did this, they did this. And he'll just reassure you, hey, we addressed all these items on this report. So all I need from the inspector is just to fill out an access agreement, attach their certificate of liability insurance. It's really easy. Once we have that, we can approve it right away. And yeah, no, we do it all the time. So
nice.
Very, very common.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are there ever times where, say during the inspection, something comes up and the builder can't get to fixing it before closing date? And what does that look like? It's
fairly rare, I would say. I don't run into that too often, but if it does happen, there's a few different options. We can either A, delay closing until the item is addressed, or B, sometimes, and the builder doesn't really love to do this, but we will if necessary. It's called an exception waiver. It's basically the buyer agreeing, hey, we'll close on this home as long as we know that we're getting this item scheduled. You might have to come in after closing when we're moved in to address this situation. But it's really going to be up to the buyer on whether they're willing to do that or not. A lot of the times they already have everything scheduled, maybe movers, maybe they're just super excited. They don't want to wait anymore, and they're fine with the trade coming out and addressing the issue after the fact. So really it's up to them for sure. And but for the most part, we're gonna get those items addressed. And as long as the superintendent has a week or so to get everything scheduled, typically we're pretty locked in with our trades to get them to come out and get that item addressed. So it's very few and far between, but it's really in the buyer's court at that point.
Can you explain these two docs to us? This one and the other one that's similar to it.
Yeah, so I attached this because this is what we call our Home of the Week list. So this is like what I was talking about before when it comes to our completed homes or close to completed homes. Some of these aren't necessarily close. It seems like some of them are getting started as well. But for the most part, it's going to be our close to completed homes. So we'll discount those homes from their original price to try to drum up some traffic in the MLS, Zillow, and otherwise. So they send us this list every single week or so. So then I will take it and I'll start sending it out, emailing it, texting it to realtors to let them know, hey, we have houses on sale. We have houses as low as, I believe at our Hanson Ridge site, looks like we have some even as low as $329,900 for a 3-bedroom in Vail. So we have some really good deals on here. So I encourage realtors to check this out. I think it's a really good resource to say, hey, look, this is all of our communities all around town. So if you're looking for something in Gladden Farms, you're looking for something in Vail, or Marana or otherwise, we have houses discounted as long as you're willing to close, fairly soon, like I said, on a quick move-in home.
Nice. And then what is the column, just the second to end with some of the red highlighted and the yellow highlighted?
Sure. So that's the stage of construction. So it goes all the way from 0, the permit stage, to all the way to 12, which is the final stage, manager walkthrough and everything else. So once you get to stage 9, it's pretty much a completed home. It just needs touch-ups at that point and a construction manager walkthrough. But those ones that say 12, 10 to 13, those are completely finished homes. So that's what the majority of them are. But even some that are in the earlier stages, they decided to throw on the list as well. Like for example, in my community at Sahuarita Crossings, most of our homes are just getting started at this point. So we don't have too many quick move-ins. So when that happens, they still want to drum up some business. They still want to get people excited. So they'll discount the homes even still to try to advertise in the MLS and Zillow to get people to come. When there's not necessarily a completed home. And like I said, our build time is 100 to 120 days. So those stage, 2, 3, 4, 5 homes are going to be done within 2 to 3 months or less. You know what I mean? So
nice. Okay, sweet. And then does anything on here say the number of bedroom or bathroom, or is that this ABC column here?
No, it doesn't mention that in this Home of the Week list. It just mentions, you can see the square footage to the left of the stage column. You can see that. So it doesn't say that on there.
Cool. Let's go through these 2 floor plans. The Amber, 1331 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath. Where can they find this one?
So this one's all over, really. I attached it because it's our smallest floor plan, so naturally it has the lowest purchase price. So this one's super popular for that reason. People that are buying their first home, or they're looking for, to get something a little bit bigger than their apartment, something like that. We have this, and I'd say a majority of our communities have this floor plan as well. And like I said, the house that we have at 329,900 at Hanson Ridge and Vale is this floor plan. So I'd say this is definitely one of our most popular to get people in at that low price. Take advantage of our incentives with this one as well. And then I also attached this bigger one, this Rosemont plan. This is, to my knowledge, this is our largest floor plan. So I wanted to mention that as well. We have something as big as a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,738 square foot, 2-story home as well. And this one, I know we have this one at Saguaro Bloom in Marana. I'm not sure what other sites have this one. I think it might just be Saguaro Bloom in Marana, but I attached it here because we have one, as big as this. This is the largest one to my knowledge.
Nice. I like this floor plan. A lot of my clients look for a bedroom, if not the main bedroom, to be downstairs, especially when they're doing like multi-generational living. They want like either their college age kid to be either upstairs or downstairs, or they're going to live downstairs, or a senior, like a aging parent to stay downstairs. So that's nice.
No, that's right. We do also have another floor plan. I didn't attach it on here, but we have another 2-story home. It's about 2,550 square foot that fits that purpose to a T. It has one of the bedrooms, a bathroom, a laundry room downstairs. And I always tell people, hey, if mom and dad's going to stay here with you, maybe they're advanced age or something like that, they can't get upstairs, it's perfect for them. So we do have floor plans like that that could fit everybody. So we try to make sure we're covering all of our bases. For sure.
Nice. Okay, cool. Then the last question before we wrap up is the warranty. What do the warranties look like after they've purchased something with you guys?
Yeah, so it's the first year is going to be really all of the cosmetics, really everything bumper to bumper, as they say. 2-year, we call workmanship warranty. So this is going to cover all of the mechanicals. So electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, all that stuff's going to be covered for those first 2 years as well. The roof's also 2 years. We have a 10-year structural warranty, and then we have a 3-year termite warranty from when they first sprayed. So that's around the foundation stage they'll spray. So 3 years from there for the termites. So like I said, and also 30 days after they close, obviously you had your orientation, you did your inspection, we had the sign off and everything. But even 30 days after you close, the superintendent that you did the walkthrough orientation with, he's going to be in charge of addressing anything that was maybe missed, in the walkthrough or the sign off or the inspection. So all is not lost. Some people get a little bit nervous, feeling like, it's going to be hard to get a hold of somebody. I haven't had that experience. I haven't heard of that experience. The superintendents do a great job here. And the main thing is because we really emphasize, and management really emphasizes our surveys. And Tucson, I can't really speak for the rest of the country, but Tucson in specific is one of the top ranking when it comes to our surveys with construction, sales, and otherwise in our warranty team. So we take a lot of pride in that. It comes up in all of our meetings. They pound it into all of our heads to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get a good survey, to get the 5s. So the superintendents do a really good job. Warranty team does a really good job. And I always tell buyers, I'm like, use that to your advantage. They're going to want a 5-star. They need it is what they feel like. So they'll do everything to try to make sure they get all these items addressed for you to your liking, to try to get that good rating. So, we definitely emphasize that a lot.
Nice. That's awesome. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want to mention before we wrap up?
I would just say, like we said before, I'm very appreciative of the realtor community. I continue to reach out all the time. That's my main business, is reaching out to realtors. It's hard to find specific buyers from our chair here, so we're always reaching out to realtors, trying to schedule things like this. I mean, this is my first one, but so I appreciate it. But I also try to do realtor presentations. We try to have realtors out and come check out the sites, take pictures, do social media, all that stuff. So I really appreciate you having me on. I hope to come back as much as possible so that I can, like I said, the incentives are changing all the time, and hopefully these rates continue to go down so that the builder can buy the rate down even more, do a little bit more. But right now we're doing as much as ever. So I encourage everyone to really, take a look at new construction and D.R. Horton in specific, because I feel like we're always trying to be number one when it comes to the incentives, for sure. So I'd say always look out for D.R. Horton. We're always trying to make sure that we're giving the best deal, trying to get these people the lowest monthly payments that they can find.
Awesome. Justin, this was so good. This is super helpful. I know that the audience is going to love this. Let's definitely have you back on. And so for everyone else, you know where to contact us. Our information is going to be in the link below. The way to get started working with me is to set up a call on Calendly. That description is going to be in the link below. I look forward to working with you.